Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We are continuing our discovery tour. This is our third of 30 tours that we're going to be doing right now. And this next one, we're going to stay here in Attica for this one. And we're going to get... I'm just fiddling around with the map. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, let's just get right to it here. Here we go. So, we are at the School of Greece. This one's the theater, which is all part of art, religion, and myths. Take to the stage to learn about ancient Greek theater and drama competitions. 7 stations to explore. Estimate time will be around 17 minutes. Let's just not waste any time. Let's begin. Enjoy.
Welcome, wanderer, to one of the most prestigious places in Greece, the theater. I'd tell you, but I think it's best to let the actors speak for themselves. The theater was where audiences gathered to watch plays. They were the highest form of art in Greece, and people saw theater as a symbol of complete harmony between the mortal world and the divine. When you're done taking in the sights and sounds, come see me, and we'll talk more. Until then, wanderer.
Okay. There's 7 to explore. And of course there's going to be a little quiz at the end right here, so of course you can play along as well. Let's just get right to it with our first station. Here it is.
Theater is not just part of geek culture, but was a major part of Greek culture. In Athens, comedies and dramas originated from the dancing and singing performed by members of the cult of Dionysus. Between 536 and 533 BCE, theater's burgeoning importance in Athens was demonstrated when the responsibility of organizing tragedies was entrusted to the Archon, the highest-ranking magistrate in the city. From then on, theater grew rapidly in popularity, and soon, a permanent space for performing and watching plays was built on the slope of the Acropolis. During the 5th century BCE, theater became intertwined with Athens' democracy. It often functioned as an echo chamber for political ideas, and in some cases, it could even influence public opinion. As a result, in the 4th century BCE, Plato coined the term theatrocracy to describe his city's politics.
Okay, we're gonna quickly learn more about this. And we're not going to show the transcript again because that's just the information of what the narrator just said. And again, if I'm going a little bit faster, folks, don't be afraid to pause the video if you want to learn more about the Greek theater or everything else in each section. There's the image on the screen. Okay. And I think before we move on, we're gonna go to a few discovery sites. I think there was one up here. Oops. Okay, there's a discovery site, which is the Doex Machina. It's a Bellerophon writing Pegasus, I don't know if I pronounced that right, about to hurl the spear at Chimera and upsurds of a stater of Tarsos. Okay, so that's around 440 to 420 BCE, before Common Era, in classical Greece. Alright, there we go. Got about 60 to go. We're going to try and get a couple more sites done here first, and then we'll move on. Here's the next one over here. altar of Dionysos. Okay, image on the screen. Alright, 17 right there. Pretty sure there were a couple more around here. Oops. Oh, didn't mean to push him. There's another site. The ski instructor. Okay, and I think... Let's make sure I didn't miss any sites around here. No. Don't think so. So we have one... Actually, we're going to go to the next station here, then we'll go to the next site. So let's go to station number 2.
Theatrical competitions were held in the sanctuary of Dionysus Eleutherius, god of wine and patron of drama. Dionysus was the son of Zeus and a mortal woman named Semele. Stories say that Zeus, who had fallen in love with Semele, appeared to her holding a lightning bolt in his hand. Semele was tragically struck dead by the lightning, but Zeus managed to save her unborn child, keeping the embryo in his thigh until it fully gestated. This is why the name Dionysus is sometimes thought to mean born twice. In Athens, theater was a part of the cult of Dionysus, and stage productions in the god's honor were held during festivals like the Linnea and the Great Dionysia.
Okay, quickly learn more about this. Okay, and before we turn around, pretty sure I think we just have one more site around here. Whoops. Okay, here's the next discovery site, the Temple of Dionysos. Again, I don't think I pronounced that correctly. The narrator will thank me later. Okay, let's learn more about this. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we can now move on to the next station, since I don't think there's any more sites around this area to do. So here's station number 3.
In Athens, there were 3 festivals that honored Dionysus with drama performances: the rustic Dionysias, the Linnea, and the Great Dionysia. For the rustic Dionysia, each deme of Attica organized their own Dionysiac procession. The parades were full of phallic songs, dances, and symbols meant to signify fertility, and participants wore drunkard masks and sang bawdy lyrics about the god. The Linnea was the oldest Dionysian festival. It was exclusively reserved for Greek citizens and mostly made up of comedy performances. Finally, the Great Dionysia was the most important festival. Taking place over several days, it began with a parade called a Phallophori, followed by a dithyramb contest, and ending with consecrated drama competitions.
quickly learn more about this festival information before we move on. And again, folks, if you are brand new to the channel right here, definitely hit that sub button. It's free here on YouTube, of course. We're trying to hit our 1,200 sub goal before we hit Shadowkeep in a couple of weeks. I don't know if we're going to hit it, but we're going to leave it in the power of your hands here. And of course, notifications are turned on by hitting that bell to stay up to date on the latest gameplay content. Again, we're going to be super busy on this channel for sure. I got a lot of catching up to do on a few games, of course. Possibility of doing Breakpoint and Modern Warfare, but most likely going to be after Christmas, because that's the 2 games I'm planning on getting on Christmas. And of course, if you enjoy this video as well, definitely hit the thumbs up button, just to try and support the videos as best as possible. I don't know if you show that image there, but hold on. Got a little distracted there. There we go. There's the image. I know you've seen the learn more information. Let's move on.
The Great Dionysia was supervised by the head magistrate known as the Archon, who was assisted by 12 other magistrates. Among his duties, the Archon picked Korigoi, rich Athenian citizens responsible for providing the budget for rehearsals and performances. 2 days before the Dionysia, a ceremony called the Proagon took place where playwrights introduced their work. The Dionysia finally began in earnest with a procession to the god's temple, followed by sacrifices and a symposium. The next 2 days centered on dithyramb contests, while the final 4 days were dedicated to drama competitions. The contests' outcomes were decided by 10 judges who were appointed at random by the Archon. The judges placed their votes in an urn, and 5 of the votes were randomly picked to determine the winner.
Okay, we have 3 stations to go. And here comes the next one.
All Athenian stage actors were male, regardless of whether they were playing men or women. Tragedies originally featured only 1 actor performing alongside a chorus, eventually reaching a maximum of 4. Adding more roles opened up the opportunity for dramatic dialogue. During performances, they prepared themselves in the skene, a building that served as a backstage area, before emerging onto the proskenion, or stage. The skene could be painted to represent backdrops like palaces, temples, and tombs. Its roof was reserved for appearances by the gods. These gods could be moved around with a crane called a mukane, which produced spectacular visual effects. On stage, actors wore masks and elaborate costumes. For tragedies, they were adorned with magnificent clothes. While for comedies, actors playing male characters wore hugely exaggerated phalluses, probably to maximize the laughs.
Okay, we have 2 stations remaining. And here's our next one.
The centerpiece of the theater was the orchestra, or dancing place. It was a large, circular area that hosted choral performances, religious rites, and, presumably, acting. Choruses were composed of men wearing masks and costumes. Any Athenian citizen could be choritai, as long as they were selected by the chorus director. Chorus members also served as the equivalent of a curtain, as their entrance and exit marked the beginning and end of the play. New costumes and masks were produced for the chorus for every new play, and they were often just as impressive and elaborate as the performances. For example, Aristophanes' comedies feature the chorus dressing as wasps, frogs, birds, clouds, and islands. One of his plays, The Knights, even had men riding other men dressed as horses.
There's the image on the screen, and now we have one more station to go, and then it'll be quiz time. So here it is, last station.
Athens Theatron, or performance space, could seat up to 17,000 people, nearly a tenth of the population of Attica. Its excellent acoustics made it ideal for drama, but it was also sometimes used for political meetings and parades. The theater was accessible to everybody. This did not mean that seating was free, though. The first rows were normally where priests and public officials sat, while the central part of the auditorium was reserved for ambassadors and guests of honor. There is also evidence that men and women sat separately. In general, theater audiences were emotional and noisy. During performances, they would shout, curse, and throw things depending on their mood, and their reactions were just as much a part of the experience as the acting.
Okay, quickly learn more about the Theatron, and then we'll go to a little quiz time. Okay. There's the image there. And again, before we go to the quiz, folks, if you do want to play along in the 3-question quiz game, by all means, leave your answers down in the description box below on the following 3 questions. Doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong, just take a guess of what you were thinking first. Alright, here we go. Time for quiz time, and then we're wrapping this video up. Here we go.
Hello again, Wanderer. I hope your visit was entertaining. Though all art forms were important in Greek culture, none had the same prestige as theater, which provided a unique experience with every performance. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Here we go, quiz time.
Really? Then let's begin. Who was Dionysos' mother?
Oh, I think that's an easy one. I definitely don't think it's Corona's, Hera, or Epistolarius. I think the one that makes sense would be Semele.
Correct! Unfortunately, Semele died before her son was born, but Zeus saved the unborn baby and raised him as a god. Next, another question. Which competitions took place on the 2nd and 3rd days of the Great Dionysia?
I definitely don't think it's athletic or drinking. The one that might make sense might be Dithram. I'll take a shot at that one.
Yes, the Theramvi were hymns dedicated to Dionysos, and the Thyrambos contests were held on the 2nd and 3rd days of the festival. And finally, the last question. Which of the following is the oldest festival dedicated to Dionysos?
Alright, will we go 3 for 3? We're gonna find out. I don't think it's the Linnea or the Adona. It's either Great or Rustic, but my guts tell me the Great Dionysia. Let's try it.
The Great Dionysia was one of the largest festivals dedicated to the god, but not the oldest. Try a different answer.
The Rustic Dionysia probably doesn't make sense. Maybe the Linnea. Let's see.
You are correct. The Linnea was the oldest Dionysiac festival. Congratulations, Wanderer. You're a very studious theater goer. Then I will leave you be. Farewell, Wanderer.
Alright, we got another reward which was unlocked, so that wasn't too bad. We got 2 out of 3, right? Almost perfect, but the gray one, it was possible, but I don't think it would make sense. It was a rusted DLC. But yeah, the last answer, it was a tad tricky, but that wasn't too bad whatsoever. But anyway, that completes our third tour. We got 27 to go, and we'll be covering every single one of those right here on YouTube. So expect this channel to be extremely busy, and that's officially going to be the end of this video. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.